So I've been playing Mario Golf Super Rush, and I was really looking forward to this game. It looked really cool during the E3 announcements. But I did notice as they kept showing the trailers and such that it seemed like it took a lot of its UI and assets, or not assets specifically, but its UI for Mario Tennis Aces. And so I had my hopes for this game, but I also had my doubts. And I hoped that it would have more content than what Mario Tennis Aces launched with. And going into it, the former was correct as far as my doubts go. This game, while it's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, the gameplay is a lot of fun, but the main problem of this game is that it is severely lacking in content. Every game mode, the few that there are in this package, feels like it's incomplete in some way. Like the title of this video says, Mario Golf Super Rush feels like it was super rushed. It feels like it was rushed to get out the door to Nintendo fans so they could have something to tie them over on the Switch till the big releases come out. But see, to many, this was a big release. Many were looking forward to Mario Golf. It feels like it's an incomplete product that was sent out the door incomplete. And I did also have my doubts when they were showing the E3 trailer and they were talking about how free updates would be coming. And so I was like, oh no. That means that this product is probably going to launch with the bare minimum of content, and they're just kind of try to improve it with free DLC releases, which I'll give them credit. The DLC is free, so I'll give them credit with that. But still, this is just along the lines as Mario Tennis Aces. Ever since Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, Camelot has been launching their sports titles, their Mario sports titles, with the bare minimum of content. But see, Mario Tennis Aces actually felt like it was more complete than this game. And you're probably looking at this screen and saying, this game does look pretty complete. You have a large roster of characters. But the thing is, all these game modes have something missing from them that would make them a much better experience. And I'll get into it pretty soon, especially with the Golf Adventure mode, which was one of their main focuses during the E3 trailer. But first off, right off the bat, the graphics of this game is a little wonky. I can't figure out quite why, but it definitely doesn't look like the same standard as other Switch releases, such as like Mario Kart 8 or Mario Odyssey. It definitely looks like a B-tier title, like a budget title. Like the fur right here on Donkey Kong looks really... It just doesn't look rendered well. It looks really plastic for some reason. So what I did is I went into the standard golf mode. I do just kind of want to talk about the mechanics because that's the most positive about this game is the mechanics are fun. The mechanics of Mario Golf Super Rush are fun. And I don't have a problem with the roster of characters. I know some people are saying there's not enough characters, but I don't really have a problem with it. I think there's enough. Right now, you can also play with your Mii. I'm glad they are bringing the Miis back. You can play with your Mii in the Golf Adventure mode. I do wish some of these characters had little costumes like Waluigi and Mario do and Wario. Even Bowser has a costume and Bowser Jr., but they couldn't have like Donkey Kong or Boo or Yoshi have one. I think that was kind of just a little nitpick of that right there. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick Mario. I'm just going to go in. And the game has 6 courses. Now, that doesn't seem like a very lot, but each course does have 18 holes, so that's, around 108 holes total. So that is, a pretty good amount of content. It's compared to the 3DS title. The 3DS title had 10 courses right off the bat, so this does feel a bit limited, especially when one of these courses is just like a rookie course. But they have that in there in case you just want to play, just regular standard golf. But these courses are okay. Um, they are open-ended, and it is fun to go back into them. I haven't fully explored all of them yet. I do wish there was a little bit more creativity with these courses, like you might have saw with the 3DS title. Like the 3DS title had like Wiggler Woods, and they had the Yoshi course based on Yoshi's Woolly World. And it even had music from those series in the golf courses. While this is just kind of like standard music. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go into the Bowser Highlands. And I'm just going to, you can pick your courses here. You can pick 18 holes, 9 holes, 6 holes. You can pick what hole you want to start at, the tees that you want to use, whether you want how you want the wind to be, whether you want the special shots on. And so I'm just going to kind of pick something here. And I picked this course in particular because this course has been getting a lot of criticism just for its assets. And you can see, the graphics just don't look, it looks okay, because it's a simple art style, but just something just feels off. Like when you look at, okay, that's not very good. Well, when you look at the ground here, like the ground just does not look rendered properly. I don't know what it is. But it doesn't feel like there's a lot of polish put into the graphics for some reason. That's why I just feel like this is a rushed product in many ways. And graphics is just one of those criticisms. But see, okay, off on the side here, you can pick your different shots. Not your different shots, but your different clubs. And see, this is the first Mario Golf game to not use the 3-click system. It actually has just 2 clicks. So you do 1 click for the power, and you can set like a top spin or a back spin just by clicking a couple buttons. And it's really simple. And I like that it's simple because anyone can kind of just pick up and play. And understand it. You can also pick, your different shot types. You can do half shot, standard shot. But what's really cool, though, is even though it's simple, there is a amount of depth to it. If you really want to get into it, there is some depth that you can put into it. So this little bar here allows you to curve the ball how you want it to be. So now it doesn't show it in this mode, but like in adventure mode, it has the bar cut off into 4 different sections, and you can curve the ball left, you can curve the ball right, you can curve it right again. And see right here, if I want to curve the ball to the right, I can do this, and just with a tap of a few buttons, I've curved the ball. Of course, I landed right in the bunker. But it's a really simple system, and there is some criticism behind it that it took all the strategy out of it. But I actually like it. I never was able to fully master the 3-click system in most golf games. And so this system really works out for me. Now, there's also these little things called special shots, which kind of add that Mario flair to the game. Each character has their own different animation and special shot to utilize. The special shot doesn't do too much, but it is cool to see the different shots that you would see, kind of like in a Mario Tennis game. I'm thinking of like Mario Power Tennis and such. Yeah, but the actual golf mechanics are a lot really initiative and really simple, and I'll give them credit for that. Now, speed golf was shown off a lot during E3 and the trailers. And speed golf is it's a really fun mode, especially in multiplayer. I would say that, and battle golf is a lot of fun too, and I'll get more into those modes later. But I would say that online play is really where the game shines. This game really shines when playing with other players or other players online. You know, whether you're playing locally or online, that's where the game really shines, especially in speed golf. It's a lot of fun. But the thing is, with online play, there's absolutely no ranking system. There's no tournaments. There's no progression. There's no unlockables. There is really no incentive to play. You're just playing just to be playing with other people, which that really needs to be changed, because right now there's really no purpose to playing it. You know, I like playing online games for the progression, for that feeling that I'm ranking up. And this doesn't have it yet. I'm really hoping they add it with updates, because it really needs some kind of system. You know, the online works okay. I've encountered some lag here and there. And sometimes the host will leave and the game will disconnect. But overall, I haven't really had trouble finding a match. Now, they don't have matchmaking, which I would really prefer matchmaking. They have this thing where you just search for rooms. You know, Nintendo's online that's been talked about over and over again. I don't really want to talk about Nintendo's online right now. But this whole room system doesn't always work, because you saw I just clicked one. I couldn't even get into the room. And see, I really wanted to show you speed golf, and now speed golf isn't even showing here. And I could possibly search for it, and see, nothing's coming up. So that's why I would rather just have matchmaking, so at least it could search it for me, and I don't have to keep trying to refresh and look for these different rooms. Okay, here's some speed golf right here. And there's kind of a chance that it's just going to say I'm not unable to enter the room. Okay, there we go. I'm able to enter the room. And I'm hoping some more players do join, so I can show you the chaotic fun that Mario Golf can be online. And Battle Golf, too, is also a lot of fun online. Battle Golf is where everybody takes turns to... Well, they don't take turns. You have to try to get 3 flags. You have to get your ball in 3 holes before everyone else. And there's all these different events happening, like ice comes down or banana peels get thrown. You know, it's goofy Mario fun. There's only 2 courses with the battle mode, which I'm sure they'll fix with future updates. So right now it is kind of limited. But speed golf and just the standard golf online is really where this game has its replay value with, you know, if you're into playing online and with other people. I would surely suggest checking that mode out if you get this game. Right now, there's just really no incentive to play it. Just to play, you know, for fun. Just to say that you won. Like, I've won of some games, but there's no, there's no title or no level that goes up when I win certain games. It's just, oh, I won, and that's it. You go back in and you play again. And so I'm just going to do a little round of speed golf here and just show you just how chaotic you can be. And you see everybody's running, and everybody's has these special dashes, and you can knock into people as well too. And you have to race to your ball essentially. So I'm going to race to my ball here. I'm going to try to get it close to the hole as I can. And I'm off. Whoa, I just ran in the Donkey Kong there. But I'm off. See, everybody's trying to get to their ball first, and you're racing for the best time as well as the least number of strokes. Because the more strokes you have, the more that... Oh, and I completely missed my ball. I cannot play and talk at the same time. That's probably why you're seeing how bad I'm doing. I'm just terrible at talking and playing at the same time because I'm trying to get all my thoughts in play. But you can see how speed golf can be really competitive. And it is a lot of fun just to try to beat everybody's time and everybody's strokes. And you get points for doing that. And you can come in first if you're in fourth. You just gotta be fast and you gotta be accurate with your shots. And see, every character has their own little dash, which also adds kind of a unique flavor to these characters. Besides their special shots, you know, they also have their own dash and their own sound effects. So you see Waluigi here, you know, I know you've seen it in the trailers, but you know, he spins around like he's an ice skate. And I just ran into Donkey Kong right there. And there's also these coins you can pick up as well as stamina on the course. And the coins increase your special shot meter. So there is some incentive to running around and getting the coins. And getting the hearts increases your stamina. Stamina. I know I'm saying that. Now, I just realized I started this online game mode, but I really do want to talk about Golf Adventure, so now I'm going to have to get out of this mode. And don't do that. Don't just quit a game. Now, it's not going to knock the other players out, but don't do that because I'm sure they're mad because it paused their game for a minute. So don't be like me and get out of an online game. So I'm just going to go back into this game here and talk about the other modes. And it boots really fast. Like, you saw how fast it booted up? That's actually kind of impressive. All right, so let's talk about the other modes. So besides online mode and just the... You know, you do have the other modes in here. You have the standard golf, speed golf, and battle golf, which you can play locally or you can play with CPU characters. The thing about the CPU characters, and this is what's lacking with these modes, is that there's no difficulty level. And with no difficulty level, you're left just wondering how these players are going to play. And they're pretty bad. Like, the AI in this game is pretty bad. Like, you'll beat them. As long as you have some practice with the game, you'll beat them fairly easily. They do pretty bad. And so they really need to add some kind of difficulty mode or fine-tune the AI in some way, because right now it's really not good. So that's just the golf modes. And now let's get into Golf Adventure, because I'm sure a lot of people, when they first start this game, they're going to go immediately into Golf Adventure. And you actually do want to start Golf Adventure because Golf Adventure does serve as a tutorial of sorts. And that's kind of one of its problems, is that it is mainly a tutorial. It's a good tutorial, you know, it teaches you all about the different shots in the game, and putting, and wind, and lob shots, and all you need to know to play this golf game. So what it is Golf Adventure is set up like this RPG type of game. And at first it seems like, you know, it's like an open world Golf Adventure, but it is actually really, really limited. It is really limited in what you can do in the areas you can explore. These hub worlds just serve a purpose from getting you to point A to to point B. It's at least better than Mario Tennis Aces, where you're just going around on a map. But this is just the same thing, is you're just going from point, you just follow the arrow. There's usually only one person you can talk to, and you follow the arrow and you do that little thing that they want you to do. The only side activities are like little tutorials, little tutorial challenges from the coaches. That's it. There's no significant side quests. There's no exploration. There's no really item collecting on the map. And you can see all these NPCs are people you can talk to. But there is absolutely no point in talking to these characters. They don't serve any purpose at all. All of them just say some kind of golf statement. Nothing is creative. Nothing is written well. Nothing is funny. There is no reason to talk to these characters. They offer nothing to you. They're just there just to fill the space and make it feel like you're in this RPG adventure, but you're really not. For example, I'm going to go in this little area. They put the time and effort into making this little clubhouse with lockers and a cafe, and there's nothing you can do with them at all. You can't buy food. Like, every little area has a cafe. You can't buy any food at all. You can't use your locker. It would have been cool to go back and forth to your locker to change, your different clubs or something like that. The only really thing you can do in these areas is talk to the toads to buy stuff from the shop, which I'll give them that. This game does have a little shop because you do earn coins when you level up. And you can buy your different clubs. Now, the different clubs and the different clothing are pretty neat. I'll give them that. There's lots of different clubs and clothing. But see, the thing is, each area has its own specific clubs and clothing. And you're pretty much just going to buy with whatever that area requires. For example, the sand area gives you has the cool attire, which reduces water loss. So you're going to have to buy that. And it has specific clubs for that, like the pokey sand wedge. Now, see, I don't know yet, but these clubs seem to only appear in Golf Adventure, and I really wish they appeared in the other modes. I may be wrong about that, but some of these clubs are really cool, like Lightning 6 Hybrid prevents being shocked by lightning. And so you really don't use these clubs all that much, because this Golf Adventure is a very short game. It is only about 4 hours long. You're going to be through with it very quickly. This whole Golf Adventure mode just feels like it was severely underdeveloped. It was rushed. Every part of it feels incomplete in some way. You start the game as being this golf pro. You start at a little house with Birdo. And you're with two other characters. You're with Toadette and Sergeant Chuck. And the main, almost the whole game involves you going around to becoming a pro. And see, this is the first area, kind of says it's a tutorial area. And you're trying to be better than the other characters. But see, what happens towards the end... What happens towards the end of the game is suddenly those characters that you meet at the beginning that are your housemates, Charge and Chuck and Toadette, are suddenly dropped. And the whole story about being a pro is suddenly dropped for no reason. There's no reason given. And suddenly the game turns and the story turns a severe left turn. And it's this really crazy story. It's about spirits and like there's random boss battles, and you're suddenly with Wario and Waluigi. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil it, but it's really weird and it comes out of nowhere and then it's over really quickly. It's like the developers really didn't know what they wanted this game to be. And so they just kind of put whatever they wanted into it. Like they put the little RPG elements into it. They put the little NPCs. They had the story about being a pro. Then all of a sudden, you're fighting boss battles and you're getting some kind of fire orb to take down these evil bosses and save Bowser. And it's very strange. And it comes right near the end of the game, and it's over in about an hour, and you're like, well, what was the point of that? It was the story really reminded me of the kind of the weird story from Mario Tennis Aces. It's like they injected that halfway into the game, like they didn't know what they wanted this game to be. I would have much rather the game just be about you being a pro and, complete the game like that. And what's really weird too is there's this part of the game called cross-country golf, which comes in the second area of the game. And you might have read this online, but a lot of people don't like cross-country golf. It's a pretty severe difficulty spike. I don't know what they were thinking with this, putting this right in the second area of the game, but this was the hardest part of the entire campaign. Like the entire campaign is pretty easy. It's pretty easy to complete. The boss battles near the end are really easy. But see, cross-country golf, on paper, and really in the game, it's actually a really cool idea. So what I have to do is, and I picked the wrong mode, but right now I have to put my ball into these 6 holes, and I can choose any order I want to. And you have a certain number of strokes to get your ball into all these holes. So I have 30 strokes to get my ball into 6 holes. Now the final qualifier is getting your ball in 9 holes in 40 strokes. And the thing about this is all the elevation. There's all this different elevation on the map, and you have to hit your ball into these whirlwinds in order to get your ball up to the top. Now, and see, they introduced lob shots like really late into the game, and lob shots would have been perfect for this mode, but this is the second area of the game, and so you don't have lob shots at all. And so the whirlwinds work about like 50% of the time. Like, they don't always work. And see, I just kind of shot my ball up there just to get it up there. I didn't even aim for the whirlwind. But see, this is the only time that this mode appears, and it's really strange because I would have loved to see this mode on the other courses as another single player mode, because the cross-country golf is really unique idea, but this is the only time it comes up, and it's just a pretty severe difficulty spike in the golf adventure mode. And I don't know why it doesn't come up again. You don't even really get to play a normal golf session in this area. Like, I would have liked to see different tournaments in Golf Adventure, but you're mainly just, like, you have this cross-country golf, and then most of the other areas you're just playing speed golf, and that's it. You're not doing any tournaments at all. You're just mainly doing speed golf, and then towards the end you're doing just some random boss battles for some reason. And so, I mean, I do like that every area has you doing something different. Like in the desert area, you have to run around and try not to run out of water. In the ice area, everyone has to get one person. You're with Wario and Waluigi, and one person has to get par, at least gets par, or you're kicked out of the course. So there is a lot. I do like the uniqueness of the areas in this game, and I'll give them that. But Adventure Golf is just over so quickly. And there's just all these underdeveloped ideas that are in this mode, and they're just thrown out in random, like the cross-country golf or the random boss battles at the end. You're just wondering, like, what was really the point of this golf adventure mode? And really the point, to me, is it really just serves as a tutorial for the main game. Even the RPG type elements that they shown off is really controlled. Like if you try to put all your focus into speed, for example, they're going to take something away from control or spin. If you try to put all your stats into power, they're going to take away from speed or control. So they take things away so everything is balanced at the end. Your character is going to be how Camelot wants your character to be, balanced in all the areas. You can't customize it. So there's really no point to that. You're just putting your stats in, and the game pretty much fills it up for you. So that's pretty much half-baked. This whole golf adventure mode is just half-baked in some fashion. It's a really weird mode, especially towards the end. And the only thing with this mode is you just play it so you can play with your Mii. In some of the other modes, it's really the only reason to play it, and for the tutorials. Because you can still unlock the different courses in the game by just playing an 18-hole game in the courses that you first have, because you only have 2 courses when you first start the game. If you play an 18-hole course in those, you can unlock the next one. If you play adventure mode, you can also unlock all the courses as well. But yeah, once you're finished with Golf Adventure, which I said only takes about 4 hours, you're left with, playing with CPUs, or basically just playing online. And like I mentioned, those areas are really undeveloped as well, because there's no difficulty setting for the computer players. There's no ranking system. They have this solo challenges over here, but that's pretty much just playing golf by yourself, which you can do in the golf mode. So I don't know what the point of these solo challenges really are. Now you can play these characters just to unlock the different clubs, because every character has like a star club set they can unlock. So there's some replay value with that. You can try out all the different characters and see what powers they have, and you can experiment on the different courses and just explore all the different holes, because the Golf Adventure doesn't show all the holes for all the courses. And so you can play rounds and explore those, and you can level up your characters to get the star club sets. So there is some replay value there. But that's really the only thing. Like, there's no online tournaments. There's no single-player tournaments. There's no ring mode. There's no mini games. The 3DS title had a lot of different modes. And this game, just like Mario Tennis Aces when it came out, this game is just pretty bare bones. And Mario Tennis Aces, eventually it did, through a lot of updates, it eventually became a more well-rounded game. But see, I never bought it because it was just so bare bones at launch, and I didn't want to wait for the updates. I wanted the content then. And this game, they say they're going to get updates, but they haven't really given a breakdown of when those updates are going to happen. So you really don't know when we're going to get these updates or what these updates are going to be. Are they just going to add one course, every 2 months or something like that? Like, we know the New Donk City is coming, but that's it. We don't know anything else about these updates. And this game really does need those updates, because right now it is just an unfinished game. That's all it is. The gameplay is really fun. Like I mentioned, I love the little simple system. I love speed golf. I love the battle golf mode. It really does have that kind of Mario craziness that you would come to find with a Mario Golf game. It just feels like it was rushed out the door in this incomplete state. And I really hope that with updates that, just like Mario Tennis Aces, we'll start to see a much better overall game from this. At least, if they could at least put a ranking system in online mode, that would keep me playing for a while, because I love playing online. That's the main mode that I've been playing after Golf Adventure, because playing with the CPUs is really not a whole lot of fun. And the thing is, these unfinished games, you seem to see that a lot with Nintendo, like with Mario Tennis Aces and Super Mario Party. That was a complete game, but it did feel like it was missing some features, and it didn't really have a whole lot of courses. It didn't have, the full online play. They added that in later. And then, with Mario Tennis Aces, that game wasn't complete as well. And then this game feels rushed and incomplete. It just seems like, I don't know what's going on with Nintendo. And I don't know if, I'm sure part of it has to do with the pandemic. But see, Mario Tennis Ace came out in 2018 before the pandemic happened. And there's really no excuse for that game to have the lack of features that it did. But at least that game felt more complete than this one. And it's just a shame, because this game is really fun. Like, this is one of my favorite. I've had the most fun in this Mario Golf game than I've had in other Mario Golf games, just because of the speed golf and the battle golf. That really just running to your ball instead of you teleporting to the location. I never thought about that in a golf game, but it's just a really cool idea, and it's really fun to play with other people. It's just there just needs to be more depth to these modes, more reason to play, more incentive to play these modes. There needs to be more unlockables, more stuff to do, more single player stuff to do. Golf Adventure mode is fine. It's a really weird mode with a lot of problems, but it's very short. And after that, there's really nothing really to do except unlock the star clubs for the other characters. And I guess if you're into that, you are looking at a lot of replay value. But yeah, overall, it's been disappointing. I don't regret getting the game, because I've had a lot of fun with it. But right now, it definitely does not feel like a $60 game. And I know Nintendo doesn't like to devalue their properties. It's got Mario on it. They're not going to devalue Mario. But they could at least price this a little bit lower. Like WarioWare is going to be $50. And if you remember Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, that game was $50. Donkey Kong, when it came out on Wii U, that was only $50 as well. But pretty much, a majority of Nintendo Switch games are $60. I don't know why they're making WarioWare $50, but this game really should have been priced at least at 50, if not like 40. I know they're not going to do that. They're not going to devalue their property like that, but it is what it is. People buy it anyway. They complain about it and they buy it anyway. I'm part of the problem. I bought the game after reading the reviews, and so I knew what I was getting into. But I just really hope that they update it and fix it so it becomes a much just overall better game, in my opinion. But I know I've rambled on for 40 minutes now, and if you've made it this far, I congratulate you, and I thank you and appreciate you for watching this video and sticking through me as I gave all my thoughts on this game. But anyway, thank you for watching, and maybe when they update this game, I'll give another review on it, on the quote, finished, unquote, product, and give a different review on it. I think that would be a cool little idea. But yeah, if you played Mario Golf, if you haven't played it, just let me know in the comments below what you think about this new Mario Golf game. And what are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Are you enjoying it overall? Do you think that has enough features? Do you think that is a complete product? Just let me know in the comments what you think about it. And I thank you for watching.